In the last Terraria update that got released, we got a new secret boss that is arguably the hardest boss in the game, which is Mechdusa. This is a boss that you can only spawn on the Everything Secret Seed, and it is the only way to get the Waffle Iron weapon. So that's why, in today's video, I'll be showing you how to easily defeat Mechdusa. Firstly, let's go over how you can spawn Mechdusa. Like I mentioned earlier, the boss can only spawn on the secret seed that I have on screen now, which is called either the Everything or Zenith seed. This seed is meant to be a mix of every seed in Terraria, where you will start in the underworld. There's no daytime, it's on the special legendary difficulty, and the entire surface layer is either Crimson or Corruption. And while you can only spawn it on that secret seed, I'll still have background footage in this video on a normal world, so that way the entire world isn't dark and hard to see. Moving back to Mechdusa now, it can spawn one of two different ways after you have broken a demon or crimson altar, with the first having it spawn randomly after 7:30 PM, and the other way having you craft Mechdusa's summoning item, Akram's Razor, which can be crafted using the 3 mechanical boss summons on a mithril or orichalcum anvil. For this guide, I'd recommend using the summoning item instead of waiting for it to spawn randomly, as if you're underground when it spawns, you will have a pretty hard time defeating it. Now that we know how it can spawn and how to do it, let's move on to the item that can only drop from Mechdusa. To go along with this secret boss, we also got a new item that has a 100% drop rate, and it also might be a reference to another Terraria content creator. This item is called Waffles Iron, and just like its name implies, it's a cooking pan weapon that will shoot out waffles when swung. Besides being a standout weapon in Terraria, the Waffle Iron has 50 base damage and has a max modifier of Legendary, making it a decent weapon to get at this part of the game's progression. And to top this item off, like I mentioned earlier, it is a reference to the YouTuber Waffletime, who made guides on all of the mech bosses, along with beat all of the secret seeds on Master Mode. Now that we know about Mechdusa's special drop, let's move on to what gear you should use in it. The Mechdusa fight is a very odd boss fight due to the world you have to fight it in, which will also affect the gear we use. For this fight, I recommend doing it on the surface layer so you can move a little bit more freely, but because it's dark and dropping to the ground can be helpful in the fight, I'd highly recommend bringing a light pet with you, as there is nothing to give you light naturally on the surface layer. For your armor, you will want to go with the Frost set. And for your weapons, you will want the Uzi with crystal bullets and Summoner's Weapon if possible. While I do recommend the Uzi here, the dart rifle is also great specifically for the destroyer, so I'd bring one of those along as well. Now, if you aren't using strict rules for your playthrough, I'd recommend using the Mega Shark instead, but you will need to go into another world and beat the destroyer to be able to craft it. And lastly, while not really a weapon, you will also want to have the Rod of Harmony or Discord, as you will almost definitely need it. Moving on to your accessories, you will want to have the Shield of Cthulhu, Brain of Confusion, Spark Boots, Ranger Emblem, and finally, Fishron Wings. And for the final part of this section, for your potions, you'll want to have healing potions of some kind, regen potions, life force potions, and finally, Iron Skin potions. For the next part, let's talk about where you should try and do the fight. Since this boss is huge and can move very fast, you will want to do this battle on the surface, which isn't your spawn in this seed. This is why I'd recommend building a small base like I have on screen now, that is on the surface and has a bed, so you set your spawn there, so you don't have to make the long journey to the surface each time you fail it. Another thing to note is, unlike normal worlds, if you go too high, you will die, so it might be helpful to build a layer of blocks at the very top of the area you plan on doing the battle at. Otherwise, keep your Rod of Discord close by, so you can stop yourself from being sucked up to the top. Lastly, building an arena can definitely help, but I had more luck just running on the natural surface, with me only needing to teleport away with the Rod of Discord a few times per battle. Now that we know the full setup, let's move on to the actual fight. Unlike every other boss in Terraria, Mechdusa is a mix of the 3 mechanical bosses and doesn't exactly have its own attack pattern, but it does keep the same attack patterns of the bosses it's made out of to a degree. Before starting the fight, you will want to use all of your potions and summon your minion. Then you are ready to go! The fight starts out with all of the 3 bosses being connected together, moving and attacking as one, and then once you defeat them, they break up. Because of this, I recommend just running away while shooting at it, like you would for the Empress of Light, while also making sure you don't get trapped by the destroyer part, and if you do, quickly use your Rod of Discord to get out of it. During this phase, you will most likely run into a lot of lava pools, but if you're using the Spark Boots, you should be able to just walk over them. Once Mechdusa breaks up, you will want to go after the Destroyer if you haven't already defeated it. Then go after Skeletron and the twins as they come at you. Due to the seed's difficulty, along with the loot available at this time, you will most likely have to do the fight multiple times, but it shouldn't take too many tries with the setup I went over in this video. That wraps up my guide on how to defeat Mechdusa. If you made it this far into the video, be sure to let me know by commenting "Hello Slime," and also let me know if you've ever done a playthrough on the Everything Secret Seed. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this in the future, and as always, make sure to have a wonderful day.